Hello and welcome to the Commander's Quarters, your Magic the Gathering source that helps you command your budget. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all their support. Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Quarters studio. Welcome to the show. So we've got yet another exciting Kaldheim spoiler, we got another exciting commander to build around, and this one is yet another character from Norse mythology that many have been excited to see. We've got Fenrir, although Fenrir, it's not called Fenrir, it's Sarulf Realm Eater, and I'm sure I'm saying that name incorrectly, so my apologies again on these quick takes if I misspeak. But anyways, Sarulf Realm Eater is a 3/3 wolf that costs 1 black-green. Whenever a permanent an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Sarulf Realm Eater. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Sarulf has 1 or more +1/+1 counters on it, you may remove all of them. If you do, exile each other non-land permanent with converted mana costs less than or equal to the number of counters removed this way. Oh, this is a disgusting commander. I don't know how else to put it other than that. So first off, that first part, Sarulf gets bigger. It's already a 3/3 for 3, which is a decent rate, but in Commander, not all that great, obviously. But a 3/3 for 3 that can get absolutely huge. I mean, very quickly, it's kind of like a Yahenni-ish, but even bigger than that, because, whenever your opponents sacrifice any of their, let's say they sacrifice a fetch land, get a counter. If they sacrifice, a Mind Stone, you get a counter. Any single thing that goes into the graveyard from play that your opponents control, you're getting Sarulf bigger. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, if you've got counters on it, you can remove all of them. That you can't pick and choose the number of counters to remove. It's either not removing any of them or removing all of them. But when you do, it is the board wipe among all board wipes. It says, let's get rid of everything except for me. Well, except for lands as well. But yeah, everything except for Sarulf is going away. Yeah, that's a pretty disgusting commander. One that can be just deadly in combat, just getting huge just by sitting on the battlefield, and then one that can utilize its power to just get rid of everything else. So this is a board wipe and a Voltron commander kind of all in one. So yeah, an incredibly powerful effect, an incredibly powerful commander it seems. The first one that came to mind that is similar to is like a Child of Alara, a repeatable board wipe, essentially in the command zone. Again, Sarulf does take a little bit of build-up. You need to get counters on it, obviously, and then you need to wait to your upkeep for that to happen. But yeah, there are definitely ways to ensure that that happens and to ensure that those counters get on Sarulf. The exile effect is definitely more powerful than that destroy effect. So it's more kind of like an Ugin the Spirit Dragon, which has that -X each, exile each permanent with converted mana cost, extra less, that's 1 or more colors. It doesn't include the 1 or more colors, obviously. So importantly, you're also hitting mana rocks. So yeah, I mean, you're in a green deck, so you can just ramp, with lands, which is what you should be doing with this commander. And yeah, all of your opponents are going to have to say goodbye to their mana rocks. So if they're not playing green, if they've got their soul rings in play, they're gone. So yeah, you can definitely take over the game with this commander pretty quickly by setting all of your opponents back to the Stone Ages, essentially. If they're not playing green and aren't land ramping, they're going to be in big trouble. So obviously, you can, kind of wait for your opponents to, have their things die or sacrifice things to get your commander bigger, but you're going to want to be a little more proactive than that. Now, the thing is, you are going to want to include cards that add +1/+1 counters to Sarulf, but you also need to be careful because those really can't be, enchantments or other creatures or, artifacts, because those are just going to go away at a certain point. I mean, a couple of things that I've thought about first, I was like, oh, I'll just get this enchantment that gives 3 counters every single turn. Oh, wait, if that actually, if Sarulf actually goes off and, removes all those counters and destroys everything or exiles everything, then that's gone too. So yeah, you want to more so focus, I believe, on instants and sorceries that give you a good amount of counters. Strength of the Tadru is a good one. Basically an X, put number of X +1/+1 counters on target creature. You've also got multi-kicker. Again, if you are going to be using other creatures, just know that you're going to be losing them at a certain point. But, again, this deck has not been fleshed out yet. These are just my initial thoughts. Solidarity of Heroes basically just doubles up the number of +1/+1 counters on a creature. So, yeah, or multiple. And then increasing savagery, which gives you 5 or 10 if you flashed it back. So this one can be great because obviously you get multiple effects. You're going to be able to get, at least a couple counters on your commander just by keeping it around. And then by adding an extra 5, that's pretty much just going to allow you to wipe the entire board. And obviously that second time is just going to wipe the entire board. So this one you can get twice, which can be huge for this commander. Obviously, you can just kind of gain counters on your commander just by destroying your opponent's things or making them sacrifice things. So things like Plaguecrafter and Smallpox. Yes, I said Smallpox. That'd be a little mean, but that's okay. Plaguecrafter, when it enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Each player who can't discards a card. So yeah, you're going to sacrifice Plaguecrafter when it comes into play, and then your opponents each have to sacrifice one thing. If they can't, they discard. But let's say they each just sacrifice one thing. You're paying 3 mana to get rid of 3 of their things, and then also get 3 counters on your commander. Smallpox for 2 mana. Each player loses 1 life, discards a card, sacrifices a creature, and then sacrifices a land. So this hits everyone. Obviously, again, I did mention that, with this deck, you probably don't want a ton of creatures because, again, if your deck's doing what it wants to do, you're going to be exiling them at a certain point. Maybe you've got creatures with ETBs. They don't really care about them going away, though. But yeah, Smallpox, cards like this make everyone sacrifice creatures, including yourself, also sacrificing a land, so you're setting your opponents even further back. And yeah, that's just basically, if my math is right, you're getting 6 +1/+1 counters on your commander just by playing this, as long as each of your opponents has 1 creature and 1 land in play. You obviously want to kind of have bigger board wipe kind of effects in this as well. Casualties of War is one, kind of more of a targeted board wipe, I guess I would say, just multiple targets. Destroy target artifact, destroy target creature, destroy target enchantment, destroy target land, destroy target planeswalker. So you're getting rid of 5 things, but on top of that, your commander is getting 5 counters. In Garrick's Wake, destroy all creatures you don't control and planeswalkers you don't control. Yeah, that can give you an absurd amount of counters on your commander. Then you can just start swinging away, and then as soon as your opponents build their boards back up, say goodbye to their boards just by taking those counters off on your upkeep. And obviously, you are going to want ways to protect your commander to make sure that your commander stays around, so that those counters can be really heavily utilized. But yeah, there's actually, ironically enough, against certain decks, maybe you've got someone else in your meta that really enjoys an aristocrat strategy. This commander just really laughs in their face because you're going to be getting an absurd amount of value for them just playing their deck. So if they're playing a Teysa Karlov deck or a Korvold deck and they're sacrificing a ton of things, yeah, your commander is going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger just because their deck's doing what they want it to do. And then at a certain point, you just say, you know what, I'm tired of your shenanigans. I'm just going to exile everything except for my commander. And then, yeah. So yeah, that can be pretty brutal. Again, I did say that this is just, it seems like a disgusting commander that can get huge for doing what you want to do or just for even doing nothing at a certain point. And then yeah, it can just be a board wipe that is repeatable, that exiles things and sets your opponents really far back. So yeah, this is just, Fenrir fans out there probably were not disappointed with this one. So yeah, now it's my turn to hear from you, though. Let me know what your thoughts on Sarulf are. What do you think about this commander? How would you build a deck around it? And yeah, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks again and have a good one.